When life falls apart, your purpose often begins. I'm Deepika.
And I'm Deepa.
And
And
together
we are
Hearts in Progress.
Welcome to our show, guys. Today, we are talking about something that touches every single person listening. Something many of us spend years searching for. Our purpose, our calling, the reason we are here. So, Deepika, I'm going to start asking you this question. Did you know what your purpose was from day one?
No,
Was your life perfect?
never.
I mean, was it like everything was crystal clear and you were like, yes, I know my purpose and this is exactly what I'm going to do?
Absolutely not.
Well, I think that's the case for many people. It wasn't the case for me either. So let's start with you. Tell us, how did you finally figure out what your purpose was?
So from a very young age, I felt very drawn to children. But that's not, I pursued an education in IT at the beginning after completing my GCSEs.
I did not know that.
Did you not?
No, I did not know that.
I did.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah,
Here we go. Something I didn't know about you.
Yeah, I did a data processing course and started college doing an IT course.
I do remember. Is that when we used to go together? Maybe. I think we were trying to do that and we used to do naughty things. I think so. Okay. Okay. Yes. Go on. Go on.
I don't like that word, but
Okay.
yeah, okay. Yeah. So I actually deteriorated completely away. It was nothing to do with working with children, but I always had that passion. It was in the pit of my stomach. It's just that when I was in Zambia, there was no colleges that provided that sort of a course, like anything in childcare. So hence then, I had to go for the best option. And I did an IT course, which, I knew it wasn't for me, but I pursued it anyway because I had to do some sort of education. As your parents will say, carry on studying and do something for yourself. So yeah, but in the pit of my stomach, I knew it wasn't for me.
That was your gut.
Yeah, my gut did speak to me.
Yeah, and you didn't listen to it at that time.
No, I didn't.
But
then, as I think I mentioned in one of our previous episodes that I used to give tuition to children in the community from the age of 14, and I did that for many years, and I felt so passionate about that. And then in one of the holidays, I decided that I would go and do some work experience in a local private school in Zambia. And I worked as a teaching assistant with no qualifications in year one, and it was just work experience. And I just knew it didn't feel like work. I woke up every morning
passionate.
I wanted to go in and do my bit, and work with the children, and I knew it straight away. I knew this is exactly what I wanted to do. And then it just went from strength to strength. The universe talked to me. It was like, I knew it was what I needed to do. Came to the UK and then pursued a career in childcare. Did did child psychology, and then I did child daycare. And then continued pursuing my career.
And look what you built.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. I think you just built an entire community around your passion, an entire business around your passion. And look at what happens when you listen to your gut and you felt authentically aligned with what your purpose was and what you were doing. Would you say so?
Absolutely does. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
I really think that purpose often whispers before it shouts, and many of us are too busy surviving, right, to hear it. I often say, how, why do people call you, why do your friends call you? Do they call you to get advice for like, uh, some kind of health advice, some kind of life advice? Maybe they're calling you because they know you have the best recipes. Those are kind of clues for why people actually call us, is because we have a knack for these things, whatever it may be, and people look up to us. And those are clues,
So
guys.
I used to always get calls for potty training, for instance.
There you go. Okay. Yeah.
Or just some sort of behavior, from friends as
Yeah.
well. My child's doing X, Y, and Z. How do I deal with it? So, that's
There's your clue.
Yeah, that's your clue, isn't it? When they trust in your expertise or
The information you provide.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. So, one of the things that I encourage people to see about themselves, because when they ask that question, how do we know what our purpose is? How do we know what our calling is? Go to the community around you and see, why are people calling you? When you have conversations with people, what are they looking up to you for? Yeah.
Yeah, what questions are they asking you?
Exactly. It could be fashion. It could be how to match clothes. It could be makeup advice. These are I'm just talking about very basic stuff, but they're not just basic. People will call you because they like the way you show up in that specific area. And so the way you show up in any specific area is how you feel aligned with yourself. And other people notice that about you. And then they're like, I know who to call for so and so. And so they will call you. And there's your clue, guys. So I really encourage the audience and listeners, please listen to that inner gut and listen to people. Why are they calling you? What are they asking you? What kind of questions are they coming to you with? And there is your cue on exactly where your calling is going. Guys, most people don't go searching for transformation because life is perfect. They search because something hurts. It could be a divorce, it could be a diagnosis, it could be a job loss, a burnout, grief, anxiety, a child struggling, a relationship ending, a dream falling apart. And the very thing you're trying to escape may be introducing you to who you're meant to become. What do you think?
That's true, Dips. Sometimes life doesn't derail us, it reroutes us. So, Dips, I'm going to turn it back onto you. How did you know what your calling was?
So, I was basically all over the place. But I do remember when I was in South Africa, I went to boarding school in South Africa, and I was taking French at that time as one of my courses. And my French teacher had us all record in French what we wanted to do and what we wanted to become as we were nearing the end of our high school. And I remember recording very specifically in French that I wanted to work with neurology and psychology and help people. It was I'll never forget the day I recorded that. And that moment played again and again in my mind. And I remember I was at the international school of Lusaka,
Mm-hmm.
in Zambia, because that's where, by the way, guys, that's where Deepika and I are from Zambia. And I remember my mom took me there to look through the college book for what I wanted to study. I mean, it was insane at that time. It's like, what do you want to study? And I was looking through it and I found this thing on therapy. And I knew at that time that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to heal and I wanted to help. And that was very evident for me from the very, very first time I really looked into my career. So I went ahead and I pursued it. And I have never once looked back and thought, oh, this is wrong. This is not where I'm supposed to be. So, I was very lucky in that way. However, as time went on, so many of you don't know this about me, but I do have ADHD. And I have just learned to control it really, really well. And utilizing the many, many practices that I have, which we'll have a conversation about another day. But it was really crazy because that led me to also become an ADHD coach because I understand it for others and help people navigate their lives better because I understand it so well.
You've lived it, right?
I've lived it, and human beings are experiential, and you know, in a way, my entire um, dealing with this whole ADHD in my head helps me understand the chaos in other people and how to help them calm their chaos in many, many ways and reroute their chaos. I'm not going to say calm. I think that's the wrong word, but I'm going to definitely say reroute. So there, I became an ADHD coach as well as a life coach. And now, I feel so fueled. I'm so passionate every time I'm working with a client, I am seeing a patient, I am transforming lives, and it's always very, very rewarding. So I'm so blessed that I really continue to follow my calling. And it's not the end because everybody's calling, you know, is not just one thing. I feel like it's an evolving calling, as I'm going to call it. And we don't have to feel like, oh, this is it. I'm doing this one job and I'm happy with it. Um, let's look at our calling in a growth form and say, right, what is evolving out of my calling? So, Dips, I know you have a story to tell.
Well, yeah, I can really relate to that, because I'm going to take you back to the title of this particular show. When life falls apart, your purpose often begins. And basically, exactly what happened to me when I gave up the nursery and moved back to England. I was lost. I was you would think that my life would be calmer and more clearer, um, because I didn't have a business to run and responsibility of children and staff. Um, but my life actually was, it was more chaos because I now felt that I was not needed.
Ah, yes.
It, you know, it, I had no purpose in life. Um, I actually went into a rabbit hole, and I I really had lost my path.
Did you feel like, what now?
I did. I questioned day after day, along with obviously, juggling my health, which was one of the reasons that I moved back to England.
And did you feel unfulfilled?
I did. I
Yeah.
really did. I was so lost. However, I found my way back. I sat and thought and called out to the universe to give me some signs. And that's when I decided that why not use my expertise and my experience and my everything that I'd done in the last 10 years. Why not put that together to continue to help children? And that's what brought me to start writing my storybooks.
How beautiful is that? I can't wait to read them. I just can't. Yeah. And then when you started writing those storybooks, tell me the emotion that started coming through you at that time.
The inspiration, and I'll be very honest with you, came from my little learners. So the children that I cared for at the nursery had lots of different experiences in their lives. And people don't dare to write real life experiences that are sad, that relate to day-to-day life. So I ventured out there. I also knew from experience that when parents came to me to talk to their children or read a story about separation or a pet passing away, I really struggled to find those on the market. So I decided that this is something I needed to do, and it could reach lots of children. It could help with these transitions that they could experience. I almost just, I found a purpose again, Dips. And that purpose can show up in many forms throughout your life. You don't have one purpose. You have seasons of purpose, I believe.
Absolutely. So true. I mean, we are, as humans, an evolving species. So what we were when we were 14, 15, in our 20s, 30s, 40s.
Stop there, Dips.
Am I giving away our age?
Okay. Absolutely.
So, we are forever evolving. And hey, I'll tell you something. I am not the person today that I was when I was in my 20s. Would you agree?
I can vouch for that.
Okay. We won't go into those details either. But my purpose at that time was a very different purpose. And my purpose now is a completely different purpose. But we have to just take that and go with, who we are as human beings and align with our authentic selves. And you'll know what sparks you, what brings you joy, and that feeling is where you need to grab that golden thread and start walking through with it. I mean, that's what I truly believe. There are so many women out there, so many who are stuck in this, I know I have to do this job, rather than listening to what they can do. It's all about survival. If I don't do this, there's no other way. Guys, please know that that's a story you're telling yourself. That is not the reality of your life. That is a story. And maybe, God bless, but maybe somebody told you that when you were younger or at some point in your life that that's all you're good enough for. Please, again, that's a story. That is not the reality of who you are. So I really encourage each and every one of you out there, go sit with yourself and really ask yourself what makes you happy and what kind of career would make you happy. Note it down, write it, make a list, and then see what possibilities exist.
You know, many people aren't afraid of failure, Dip.
Mm.
They're afraid of their potential.
Ah, yes.
They're afraid that their dream might actually work.
Mm.
Do you think?
I do. You know, I encourage people to stand in front of a mirror every morning, look at yourself eye to eye. Do you have the guts to do that? Because it's a difficult thing, what I'm saying. Look at yourself eye to eye and tell yourself what you really feel about yourself, what you feel your worth is, and really tell yourself what you can do. I really do that, guys, every day, 30 seconds. You got to get up and brush your teeth, stand in front of that mirror, look at yourself eye to eye, give yourself a pep talk and tell yourself how much you are worth, how much you love yourself, and what it is that's going to spark your day and your joy in a given day and even as a career. And listen then, quietly listen to see what's coming to you. Where's your calling? Your calling will talk to you nice and loud. Give yourself a chance because each one of you out there deserves a chance. Every single one of you. So give yourself that chance.
Agreed. Let's take a little bit of time out. I've got an exercise for you. Grab a notebook or pen and paper. I've got 3 questions for you. Question 1. What breaks my heart? For instance, what problem in the world moves you so emotionally? Question 2. What brings me alive? What makes time disappear? What energizes you? And question 3. What do I feel I'm called to serve? Is it children? Is it women, families, entrepreneurs, seniors, your community, humanity? Where those 3 questions overlap is where you'll often find purpose.
And then you guys have to find the courage to follow the calling. Because finding the purpose is one thing, but following it is another. Because purpose, guys, often asks you to grow. Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to take the risk? Are you willing to become visible? And are you willing to leave the comfort behind? Because when we do new things, guys, we have to get so uncomfortable to get comfortable. And that is the art of change because most people aren't afraid of failure. They are, like Deepika had said earlier, afraid of their potential. So instead of being scared of yourself, make yourself your best friend and start aligning with yourself.
And if you're listening today, it might have, it was meant to be, maybe. Maybe your calling isn't just asking for a giant leap. Maybe it's asking for one small step, one conversation, one course, one application, one post, one act of courage. Just go for it, guys.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to get up and say, I'm going to do it. And just do it. Don't give yourself a reason to back out. Just do it. Because you know you can. And if you tell yourself you can, you can.
You can.
Absolutely. You know. And if no one believes in you, we believe in you, right, Dips?
We believe in you.
We believe in you. You know, one of my favorite beliefs is this: you don't have to figure out your entire life. You only need enough courage for the next step. Isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful. And you know what? The path appears as you walk it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know, I truly believe the universe doesn't hand us the whole map. It never does, you know. Um, it hands us a flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it asks us to trust the next few steps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guides the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I have learned over time to take that flashlight out and kind of use it in my darkest moments.
On that note, Dips, to all our listeners, on reflection, maybe the chaos wasn't punishment. Maybe it was preparation. Maybe the detour wasn't a mistake, Maybe it was direction. Maybe the heartbreak wasn't the end. Maybe it was the beginning.
Whoa, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that, Dips, you know. Um, so, wow, that was amazing. I love what you read about, you know, the beginning. Maybe it was the beginning, you know. So, to all our listeners out there, when you see or feel like it is the end, uh-uh, this is the beginning of something incredible. So, guys, before we wrap up our conversation today, um, I want y'all to know that our next episode is going to be about the art of receiving. Why is it so easy to give love but so hard to receive it? And
that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to bring that information to you with my friend, soul sister, Dips.
Dips. You know what? I think people might be wondering. I think we need to clear this up, right?
Yeah, I think we.
Okay, so my name is Deepika, and pronounced in many different ways. Deepika. So, but from from birth, my parents named me Deepika, but actually called me Deepa. So my nickname.
Hey, that's my name.
No. That was my nickname. And to my friends, I'm Dips. And Deepa?
Yeah, well, you know what? My name is actually Dipali, but my parents and everybody else called me Deepa. And so here we are. And then everybody calls me Dips. So here we are.
Yeah.
Dips and dips.
Dips and dips.
You know? So, I mean, I don't know if it's just a coincidence or we were maybe twins in our last birth and we're just reborn to, you know, continue our story. What do you think?
That could be very true, Dips. But I'm sure you can all distinguish who's talking. So I've got the British accent and Deepa has got the American accent.
Anyway, I thought I had the Zambian accent, eh? Come on.
Listen. Don't try me.
Guys, on that note, we're going to wrap up and thank you so much for listening in today. Join us next time on Hearts in Progress. Until then, trust the journey, trust the chaos,
trust the unfolding, because your heart
is still in progress.
Si como kwambiri, guys.
Which means thank you
in Nyanja.